Hello, my name is Angelica. I'm going to be taking over for right now for Dr. James Mackenzie. I understand that you wanted to see the doctor, not me, and despite the fact that I'm, not a man, obviously I would assume that you would want to be treated by one who has been educated. But at the moment, Dr. James Mackenzie is not available, unfortunately. He is with another patient, so he's asked me to get rid of some preliminaries, and then he would judge the results at the end and give you a more thorough review of health, but at the end. So if you don't mind, I'm going to be taking care of you for right now. Is this okay? I'm going to be fastening you onto a new machine that Mr. Mackenzie, or rather Dr. Mackenzie, that's disrespectful, that Dr. Mackenzie has been working on. He's been working on it since the 1890s, since the 90s, but it's not until recently that he's been able to better it, along with his assistant's help. Predominantly his assistant's help, though, because even though Dr. James Mackenzie is quite a pioneer when it comes to cardiac research, it's his assistant that's been doing most of the tinkering around with the technological aspect of the machine. But despite that, I'm going to be fastening you on to the machine. I'll be taking your heart rate, and then I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions just to determine how healthy of a lifestyle you've been keeping up and how you've been doing, and then I'll simply give the results over to the doctor if he wishes to take the test, just in case he might notice some flaws in my work. Then obviously that could be an option as well, where you can get better evaluated by him, and then in the end, hopefully you'll have a pleasant experience within the facility. Okay? Excellent. Now, let me simply put your arm right here. Just lay your arm across. Thank you. I'm going to be fastening on some of the monitors onto your arm. These are going to be monitoring the pulse going through it. Okay, great. So your arm is all situated. Now, if you wouldn't mind, spread your fingers out like this, like completely out, just like extend them. Thank you. I'm simply going to put one at each tip. Excellent. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, what was it that I said? I'm so inept. Take your pulse. So, if you wouldn't mind, give me your other hand, please. Thank you. I'm simply going to be counting the pulse in your wrist. I'm going to be counting up until 60 seconds, and then I'll be monitoring how many beats it pulses throughout those 60 seconds. So, starting, are you relaxed? Calm? Okay, great. Starting now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi, 21 Mississippi, 22 Mississippi, 23 Mississippi, 24 Mississippi, 25 Mississippi, 26 Mississippi, 27 Mississippi, 28 Mississippi, 29 Mississippi, 30 Mississippi, 31 Mississippi, 32 Mississippi, 33 Mississippi, 34 Mississippi, 35 Mississippi, 36 Mississippi, 37 Mississippi, 38 Mississippi, 39 Mississippi, 40 Mississippi, 41 Mississippi, 42 Mississippi, 43 Mississippi, 44 Mississippi, 45 Mississippi, 46 Mississippi, 47 Mississippi, 48 Mississippi, 49 Mississippi, 50 Mississippi, 51 Mississippi, 52 Mississippi, 53 Mississippi, 54 Mississippi, 55 Mississippi, 56 Mississippi, 57 Mississippi, 58 Mississippi, 59 Mississippi, 60 Mississippi. Okay, so you're all set. I'm just going to take a note of your results in this portfolio of yours. Okay. Just go on to a new sheet of paper. Okay. So now let me just switch on the machine. Okay. So right now it's going to be continuing on, so once I start asking you questions, it should start activating the needle. Now let's just wait for it to start working. Okay. So if you listen to the needle, that's going to be your steady heart rate. Anything a little more sporadic than that should indicate that, you know, you're not living a healthy lifestyle. Okay, that's quite a steady pace. Not too fervent and not too slow. So that means you have a pretty good heart rate already. Now, the first question I'm going to be asking you is, are you taking any drugs, any alcohol, anything like that? Okay, any substances that fit that range, something like coffee? Okay. Now, how much would you say that you drink a day, or that you drink coffee a day? How many cups? Okay, are you sure that's the amount that you usually drink, either alcohol or cups of coffee? Okay. This is a medical facility, so any information you give us is only contributing to the betterment of your health. So it would be greatly appreciated if you assured that your answers that you gave are in all honesty. Given how your heart rate did go up, I would assume that you are trying to give me false information, thus, you know, spiking the rate of your heart. So once more, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day, or how much alcohol do you drink a day? Okay, thank you. And do you happen to smoke any coffin nails? Cigarettes. And I was using the slang term from nowadays, but cigarettes. No. Okay. Well, it is, despite popular opinion, we know that it's bad for our health. We know that 2 + 2 = 4 is kind of my logic, where if you ingest smoke, it's gonna hurt you, but considering how, poets smoke and artists smoke, people just kind of disregard the fact, because, we're all gonna die anyway, so might as well just live the way they want to live, and then shorten their lives while they're doing something that they like. I'm assuming that's the logic. It looks fabulous, but at the same time, doing it is kind of smoky. Now the next question. How much exercise do you think you get a day? So you exercise every day. How many times a day? Okay. Once more, your heart rate did spike, which indicates to you not giving correct information. So, and once more, this is a medical facility, so any information you give us is only to your benefit. So how many times do you exercise, say a week? Not at all. Okay. No, walking doesn't, I wouldn't constitute walking as exercise. I'm talking about, for instance, cycling or jogging or swimming, you know, things that require a lot of effort, not just walking, which everyone does in order to get to anywhere. Not to belittle you, of course, but walking isn't included. So none at all. So I'm assuming that, how much exercise do you think you get in a month? None at all. Okay. How much exercise have you gotten in the past year? None at all. Okay, thank you for the honest answers. I wouldn't, even though you didn't solicit my medical opinion, I would simply suggest that you exercise a little more than nothing a year. Simply because if you don't, it has been proven that there are a lot of physiological, degradations that come along with inactivity, such as bone loss. Your joints end up losing, they end up becoming more fragile. Your muscles lose mass. So I would simply suggest that if you are going to walk, at least walk a lot, like Nikola Tesla amount. Give me 1 moment. Let me just... Okay, I think your heart rate is back to normal. Now the next question I am going to ask, even though it kind of goes hand in hand with the previous question I had already proposed of you taking drugs or alcohol, have you been recited any prescriptions by any other medical doctors? No. Okay. Have you... Do any genetic illnesses run in your family, anything like polio, diabetes, syphilis, or rather not syphilis, syphilis isn't a genetic disorder. What else? Polio, diabetes, asthma, or if you're going to go into the more degenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, things like that. Syphilis. Polio runs through your family. Okay. You're doing quite well. I'm memorizing the answers to your questions, so afterwards I'm going to be writing them down to the questions I have listed now. Next question is, how is your living situation right now? Do you find it to be stressful, or is it accommodating to your health? Such as the fact, for instance, do you work at a factory, 14 hours a day for like 49 cents a day, inhaling smoke, or are you of a more comfortable profession? Okay. And give me 1 moment, let me think of a question. Considering how you work in a factory, I understand this is going to be a silly question, but do you think that there's a possibility that your employers might accommodate your health? For instance, there are a lot of labor parties coming up now, so have you considered joining one of them and banding up to promote better circumstances for workers in the workplace? No. Once more, your answers within these series of questions will be kept confidential, so if you have considered joining a labor union to protest the circumstances at your work, it won't be revealed to anyone else besides Dr. James Mackenzie, simply because he'll be needing that information to know exactly what can be done to better your health or to prevent any sort of illnesses from arising. So have you considered? Okay. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are considering joining unions nowadays, understandably so. The situations of workers today are quite deplorable to say the least. We have a lot of men and children and women coming in with basically black lungs, coughing up soot, so it's understandable. Now, give me one moment. How long have you worked at the factory? Okay, understandable. And do you think you could find any other means of money? Yeah, understandable. Okay, I think I've collected enough information. I think I've ascertained a pretty good idea of your health. So I'm just going to be clicking the machine off. Okay. And now I'm just going to be writing down the notes that I've collected from you. So that way the doctor can have a good scope as to what sort of patient he's going to be treating. So give me one moment. Have you seen the new D.W. Griffith picture? He's always generating new pictures nowadays. I feel like he's dominating. Well, he is dominating, but I feel like he's the only person making motion pictures. Even though I'm sure there's others, but he's pretty much dominated the scene. It's quite fascinating, in all honesty, in my professional opinion. I mean, to see a picture move, when has that ever been done before? The best entertainment we've thus far received are in literature, which in itself is a perfect form of entertainment. I highly doubt that that's going to be going anywhere, even after this whole motion picture scene, even though there has been speculation that because of the motion pictures that the literature is going to be going out, with the bathwater. But I don't think so. I think it'll stay. It's a classic pastime. However, I am a big fan of motion pictures. It's an interesting phenomenon, to say the least. I mean, we are moving so fast technologically. Imagine the horizons we can defeat in the next 10 years or so. I'm sure that the 1900s are going to be bringing about new promises of technology and advancements and whatnot. I feel like the 1800s were a revolution for industry and literature, what with the Romanticist movement, but I feel like this century brings about a lot of promise, and I can't wait to see it unfold, hopefully. I'm probably only going to live to see probably up until like the 1960s, 1970s, if I'm lucky. But hopefully by then, the world's problems have been resolved, and we're at peace, and everything has been resolved, and we're just focusing on intellectual pursuits. And women get more rights by then. It'd be nice to be called a doctor. However, Dr. James Mackenzie is probably the best doctor you're going to be seeing. I heard he's going to be knighted for his work within the cardiac field, or cardiologist field, depending. Cardiology. It's the study of the heart, but can't quite ascertain the correct term to label the field, the heart field. Anyways, I've noted down all of my notes, and I will be returning this information to Dr. James Mackenzie. If you'd like, you can go back to waiting in the waiting room, and we'll be sure to call you up as soon as he's ready for you to be attended. Okay? Excellent. Well, it was a pleasure examining you, and hopefully nothing is wrong with you, but from the test, nothing is obviously wrong with you. So have a lovely day up until you see Dr. James Mackenzie.